Okay, my name is Emily,
I'm Danielle.
I'm Taylor.
and our topic was mobile technologies and handheld devices. So, the definition of a handheld device is any portable device that can be carried and held in one's palm. This can contain cellular communication, but it doesn't have to. A mobile technology is a small computing device, small enough to be a handheld, having a display screen with touch input and or small keyboard weighing less than 2 pounds. So the way I like to think of it is a mobile technology is a handheld device, but not all handheld devices are mobile technologies. And some examples of these would be cell phones, tablets, laptops, calculators, clickers, and there's a lot more that we couldn't all find. So,
All right, so cost and features. So typically when you think of a MacBook or laptop, they're outrageously expensive, but Apple actually offers really cool features for schools that want to order them in bulk for one-to-one or any. And the special pricing is $999 for MacBook and $379 for iPad Air. I didn't include other servers on this because every school I've been in have used Apple. But the features that come with the bulk ordering are tax exempt, reduced prices for a lot of the apps, especially educational apps, and support. So they have like an IT tech option that you can contact for installing the software, and the use and recycle program. So when or if you choose to convert to Apple, you can use your old computers and devices and send to them, and you could even get cash back for those products. So features on iPad and laptops, obviously we have educational apps, life skill tools, which is incredibly helpful for those with disabilities. So the morning routine option, they can place in what they want, and you could even change that for school routines. So how they're going to go through their lessons for that day. Time management apps are also really helpful for the teacher. So they can set up timers so the kids can see how much time they have to do each activity.
Okay, so impact in the classroom. Some positive things that come from these mobile technologies are more student self-direction, easier access to knowledge, like you have the search engines at the tip of your fingers, and also access to educational tools and apps that you might not be able to use on a computer, like necessarily. It's easier to use on an iPad or something if you have that. It makes learning more enjoyable. Kids find it more fun to use iPads and things like that. And more organization for students. There are organization apps that you can get, like for your schedule and stuff like homework. And then negatives, the cost for the technology itself. So it is pretty pricey, and it also costs to like keep up on the maintenance with them if one goes bad. Higher bandwidth and security features, and more manpower in school IT departments. Then also teacher training for technology. A lot of teachers might not know how to use these technologies at first, so they need to be trained. Software can be expensive. They might be a distraction in the classroom. Cheating may become easier. So kids like texting or messaging on their iPads on certain apps and things like that. Theft would also be an issue.
some policies that affect technology in the schools is around a decade ago, they were thought to lead to drug dealing and gang violence. But now there's kind of a switch in policies that we're seeing. And a lot of it had been because of safety reasons that parents and teachers were advocating for technology in the school because they were a resource for the students to use if something had gone wrong in the school. But this also has a negative side to it where this easy communication may lead to rumors or create more fear, and ultimately it might create a less safe school, such as bomb threats. So if a phone were to detonate a bomb, that would be horrendous, but that's one of the that's one of the reasons that people are pushing against technology in the classroom. So like we kind of talked about, more cell phones might lead to more theft and a liability. So there's some policies that go along with that. Social media and sexting and bullying, there's a lot of policies that deal with those. And then cell phone check-ins were also kind of popular that I found, where once you walk into the classroom or the school, you check in your phone. But then a negative side of that is it affecting their privacy rights? And then teachers can use this as a part of their lesson. So it's in their daily lesson plans that they get to use a cell phone in class for answering a quiz question, or they use the clickers for quiz questions. And then cyberbullying, there's a fine line between the policies on cyberbullying, because it's still an issue of how do you regulate it. So those are some of the key issues and policies. Some actual uses in the classroom that I personally have seen are assistive technologies for students with disabilities. There's recording pens that are small enough for them to carry around, clickers like we talked about, and these all help those kids that have a different learning style. iPads and tablets are very commonly used in classrooms. They can be used for individual work, group work, math problems, different stations. They can be used as a reward, or I guess a takeaway too. If say you don't do your homework, you don't get to play your game on the iPad. And then a lot of the classrooms are also going to ebooks on these tablets and iPads, which, you could use ebooks for pleasure and for school. So that's one. And then clickers, like we talked about, they could be used for the quizzes and check-ins for students, see how they're doing day to day. And that's a really quick and easy tool for teachers. Laptops for writing reports, keyboarding practice. They can do a research on it to find more about a topic. And then some others, the iPad, cell phones, and laptops, they really encourage organizational skills, because everything is in that one spot. Helps you keep a calendar, your homework, and setting reminders. So not just in-school reminders, but day-to-day reminders or weekend reminders, activities, that kind of stuff.
One-to-one initiatives. So this is just some food for thought. Our teachers and administrators, along with parents and kids, just caught up in commercial trend fueled by the companies that design and build tablets and smartphones. By the time classrooms reach a one-to-one point, will it be time already to upgrade to something else? So we know that technologies are always changing and new technologies are coming about, so that was kind of a question. One-to-one initiatives, the idea that one electronic device is given to each student in order to gain access to the internet, digital course materials, and or digital textbooks. It's an attempt to give every student the access to technology that almost all classrooms are beginning to use now. Some advantages of this are easily updated material, equal access, more engaged learners, and savings in other areas, such as paper, textbooks, and tests and stuff like that. Some disadvantages were the cost of purchasing hundreds and thousands of technologies, training the students and teachers to be able to use these technologies. Security can be an issue. Monitoring equals challenging. Ownership.
So the ownership is if it's a one-to-one initiative, who really owns that technology? Is it the school or is it the student? It's a fine line between those.
And I also think one of the main advantages of one-to-one is that each student has a laptop with them, so it makes for a really easy transition. If you want to incorporate iPads into a lesson, then you don't have to take the time to possibly go get the laptop somewhere, go to the computers, and it limits distraction. All right, do we think that mobile technologies have a place in our future classroom? We all said yes. We think they're very important. And the most important thing for teachers is how you utilize them in your classroom. Clearly, like being in this class, it's the proper training and just gaining knowledge on what's out there and formulating our own plan of action when it's our turn to use technology in the classroom. It's also a big motivation for students. If you finish your schoolwork, you can use the iPad, but I really like it for its educational purposes, and I do believe that it will show in test scores and improve student learning.
Mm-hmm. And another reason why I really, advocate for technology in the classroom is you can get that most recent material that you need, most recent information that the kids are going to need as they go through, especially with like politics. Politics are always changing, so it's really easy for them to keep up with what's going on in the world around them.
And also, if the main reason for not having it is because we don't want to expose them to this, they're going to be exposed to it. So I think the best way of prevention is to show them the right way to use it. And then, so when they get older, they won't take advantage of it. So.
Good. All right. Well, that is our presentation on mobile technologies. Here's our Works Cited, just if anybody wants to check it out. Other than that, thanks for listening and have a great day.
Thanks.